What's up in the trenches? Back after a few weeks. We're going to go over this Sunday's games, a couple of upsets, and let's get right into it. Coach, what up, dog?
Hey man, it's been a while, man. Glad to be back, man. Let's get
Yes,
this shit
sir.
rolling.
Yes, sir. Thanks for everyone that has messaged Kelly. I know Kelly got a message the other day wondering what was up with us. Hey, man, just living life, working.
From the other
Caught
side of the
up.
world now. Hey, one of our viewers from the other side of the world in Dubai. Shout out to Willie Hutch, '03.
Yes, sir. Well, in the trenches is back. Let's get right into it. Talk of Sunday, not because we're Dolphin fans, but Tua, first career start. We saw him against the Jets at the end of the game in a little drive, completed two passes. Didn't look bad, but it's the Jets, and the Jets, the Chiefs made the Jets look like the Jets. We're not even going to talk about that. At least they held them under 40 points. That's the only positive for the Jets. But let's get right into Tua. Uh, we didn't see much of him. He went under 100 yards. But as far as what he had to do, that defense won the game for him. Special teams won the game for him. And it seems to be, from what I've been reading on Facebook and on Twitter, you just can't win with Dolphin fans. Like, you want Tua, he's starting. Now you don't want him, and you're complaining. What are you complaining about? We won the game. Who cares what his stats say? We won the game. He didn't throw a pick. He didn't let the Rams get back in the game. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was just the play calling that they were just like, don't pass the ball, just run the ball all day long and control the clock as much as you can. But from what you saw, his presence on the field, what do you think about him, Coach? Is he going to be the answer for us going forward?
Well, we'll have to find out the next game because I was not impressed by Tua at all this game. Roughly 90 yards passing. I mean, for playing the whole game in today's NFL, in today's pass happy NFL, you only get 90 yards. It's not impressive for me. I mean, the kid has some great expectations. Um, we need to see 200, 217. That would have been a good step going forward. But 93 yards in a pass happy NFL. You hit Devontae Parker on a 4 yard slant. Um, I mean, I mean that's given. That's like old school '90 football where you give it to Emmitt Smith, third and one, and he'll get 5 yards. I mean that was a guaranteed play. Um, Great game for Dolphins defense. The Rams they look lethargic, predictable. It seemed like they were running the same play, the same exact play script as last week. And uh, Xavier Howard, he should have had some picks that game. Um,
Yeah, we
Great
did
game for
drop a
the
few picks on those games. There was at least three that were
yeah,
dropped.
yeah, yeah, and I really think that uh they just look predictable. It looked like the same plays they run week in and week out at the same time situation. And Sean McDermott, he was highly disappointing to me. The Rams quarterback, very disappointing. It was just an awful game. But I mean, congratulations for the win for the Dolphins. Going forward next week, let's see what's in store.
Yeah, big test with the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been one of the surprise teams for some. For others, like myself and us here in the trenches, really wasn't much of a surprise. Cardinals were going to be one of the better teams, and they've shown it. They beat the Seahawks, which was a huge win for them. And the Dolphins get the Cardinals this Sunday. Two young teams, two rebuilding teams, two young quarterbacks, and we'll see what Tua brings to the table on Sunday. Other than that, look, the Rams were tired. I don't want to put too much blame on that, but they have been traveling a lot. They've gone back and forth from the east and the west coast, and that does take it takes some
Agree.
it drains your body.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
not taking anything away from the Dolphins. The Dolphins played great. Their defense won the game. Special teams. Grant had a big run back. Special teams played good, and Tua controlled the game. It was a team win for the Dolphins on Sunday, and look, the Rams are a better team than the Dolphins. Yeah, probably they are, but on Sunday they weren't, and we beat them, and that's a good signing. That's a good sign going forward for the Miami Dolphins. Uh, and in other games, let's talk about the biggest upset of the weekend, which was the Cincinnati Bengals over the Tennessee Titans. No one really expected that one, and that was a bigger upset than the Vikings over the Packers. So Cincinnati with pretty much nothing on their team. Yes, Burrows has looked good, but Tennessee Titans only had one loss. They're most likely going to win their division, get into the playoffs. Derrick Henry is a force. Ryan Tannehill has been playing good. That defense is playing good, and Cincinnati just beat them. You know, it wasn't by a lot, but they won that game, and Tennessee had no reason to lose that game to Cincinnati. That's a big deal. What do you think about that game?
I mean, as bad as I don't want to give Mike Vrabel and Ryan Tannehill credit, they have been playing some excellent football.
Absolutely, yeah.
You cannot take that away from them. But this game right here, they just look straight up flat. I mean, they were outplayed by the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals were just making some amazing plays. I mean, the stuff was like unreal. I couldn't believe what I was seeing this weekend. I think the Titans will get it back together and put it back together and start to shape themselves for the second half of the season and prepare themselves for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's just a little. It's not even a bump in the road for Tennessee. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be there. They're going to win their division straight up. But big win for Cincinnati going forward. Joe Burrows, 26 for 37, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns. It seems like the man doesn't make many mistakes. Great first season. Probably going to be the rookie of the year. And Cincinnati really has that guy going forward now. That is their quarterback for the future. They have no question whatsoever on that. And they're just going to build up on that. Not a big deal as far as, you know, standings again. Tennessee's going to win their division most likely. And Cincinnati is not going to do anything else. They're going to have a top 10 pick. But, hey, good for them. A big upset. That maybe it's not a big upset. Huge performance from your, not so much of your boy, because I know you don't like him. 4 rushing touchdowns by Cook, and the Vikings beat the Packers. They banged me because I had the Packers winning that game. So what's up with that? How do you even explain that? The Vikings had looked up to now horrible, but they beat their division rival. What does this mean for the Vikings going forward? Are the Vikings that we expect to see gonna start hitting that field, or was this just little hiccup in the Packers season?
I have no idea. I believe it had something to do with that full moon this weekend and Halloween or something going on. but Dalvin Cook, that dude ran that football like he was back at Jackson High running that ball. That dude ran that ball this weekend.
That boy had 163 yards.
Yes.
Had three touchdowns.
Yes.
Not 4.
So I mean, shout out to Dalvin Cook. Great game for him. But I mean, Green Bay defense, come on, man. Y'all step up, man. I mean, you know what Minnesota's going to do, and that's almost Minnesota's only option. And you let him shred you to pieces. I mean, it just disgusting.
Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna say they beat the Packers at their game because they didn't. They obviously controlled the clock a lot more because Adams had himself a day. He had 3 touchdowns. Rodgers had himself a day. And it just seems to be that
defense
this Sunday, Green Bay. Yeah, the Green Bay defense couldn't stop Cook, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah,
it's maybe it's a big deal. You will need Green Bay to lose a few more games if you're a Minnesota fan looking to win the division, but. I mean, it's a step in the right direction for Minnesota if they want to somehow get back into this race because they're far, far behind. And from what everyone else on top of them is playing, it doesn't seem like they're going to be fighting for that wildcard spot anytime soon. So it's a big win for Minnesota and probably just a hiccup for Green Bay. But we'll see the turnaround on Thursday against the 49ers. They should beat the 49ers. 49ers did have a pretty impressive game. Came back at it at the end of the game against the Seahawks, but the Seahawks were just too good for them this weekend.
And the 49ers are even more banged up. Kerry Kittles. I think he's done for the season, and and uh Garoppolo is out for maybe about 6 weeks.
Damn.
So San Francisco is even more banged up right about now.
So are they taking for Trevor? Think we're gonna get Trevor in that team? I mean,
I would,
The Jets have to win at least, I think, 2 games, right? Because the
yeah,
49ers have at least 2.
I think so because as of right now, I think the Jets
Sorry,
are
four.
I think the Jets are number one, and Jacksonville might be right behind them.
And then the god awful Cowboys.
Oh goodness, yeah, I forgot about them.
Yeah, we're not really going to talk about anything in that division. That division shouldn't be talked about.
Man, just throw a dart, and whichever team it lands on, put them in the playoffs. They're gonna lose in the first round.
Yeah, it's gonna be hilarious. Big comeback. Let's get right into it. Everyone's talking about it. Denver Broncos 30-point comeback to beat the Chargers. I didn't watch the game. Did you get any of that game?
I saw a little of the game. I'm trying to pull up my sleeper game because in that league I actually started what's the Chargers quarterback name? Justin
Herbert. That guy that wasn't ready for the NFL, but boy oh boy is he showing up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm playing Fin analyst. Whoever that who is that? In that league.
Is that Finn?
Fin analyst? Yeah.
Yeah, didn't I mean that might be oh my god, please don't. I hope you're listening to this. I forgot his name. Finn? I think it's Finn. I think his name is Finn.
Fin analyst? He's getting banged. I'm banging him this week. Yeah. But shout out to Justin Herbert and Giovanni Bernard for the Bengals for me. Putting that banging down on them.
Yeah, and I started Higgins in Cincinnati since Higgins has given me 2 weeks straight with good points.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for my league, Amari Cooper's on the trading block.
Oh my god!
Let him blow now.
I wrote a note about that dude somewhere, but if we talk about the Cowboys, we'll get to that. But yeah, Justin Herbert, the San Diego Chargers. I mean, that offense is impressive. I mean, unfortunate for them, they lost on a fluke. As a matter of fact, the fluke was so big, it's comparable to Alf beating me this week in fantasy. Oh my goodness. I am so sick, man. Alf banged me in our Yahoo league, man.
He got you.
Yes.
He got you.
Yes. I talked trash to that dude like I was Ric Flair.
That's why you never talk trash, dog. That's why you never do it.
Hey man. So shout out to Alf. You banged me this week. I don't know who I got next week. But I've been on the slide, man. I lost to you. I lost to Kojak. I lost to Meyer. I lost to a lot of guys. Man, I'm awful in that league.
That's me. That's me in the other league. That's me in the other league. I'm 0-7 in the other one with you. In that sleepers league. I don't think I have one win in that league.
No, you don't.
My team is banged.
And what make it so bad?
I could do.
Yeah, and what make it so bad? I don't even think I want to trade you for nobody on your team. Your team is that awful.
My team is that bad. I can't even trade anyone. Even if I trade someone, I'm not getting jack in return.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
That league is done.
Right. Yeah, but yeah, man. The Chargers, man. It was very unfortunate. I mean, the Broncos, they're not an impressive team to me. A fluke win. In a classic AFC West rival game, it's expected. Anything, it's going to be close games in that league between two subpar teams. So it's expected.
Yeah, and from one close division game, I want to talk a little bit about, and I'm gonna be that guy. I told y'all Cam Newton was not gonna be good for the Patriots. All y'all wanted Cam Newton to play good. Cam Newton cost the Buffalo Bills that game. Cost the New England Patriots that game at the end of the game, in a game that the Patriots probably have no reason to be that close. But that's an inexcusable mistake by Cam Newton. What's up with Cam Newton? What is Bill Belichick going to go do going forward? Or is he going to start that rookie? Where does Cam Newton go? Has he earned another contract? What's up with that? What do you think about that, man? Because I don't believe in Cam Newton, and he hasn't shown up. He's played. He's had a few good games. Man could still play, but you can't make a mistake like that against the Buffalo Bills.
To me, Cam Newton is still serviceable. Him and Josh McDaniels need to kind of get together and develop a game plan for what is best for him and his abilities. That fumble towards the end of the game, I mean, once again, it was one of those Alfie flukes. It just happened, man. I mean, Cam Newton, from Little League football days, you learn to switch the ball to the outside hand. You learn that. Cam Newton thinking he's fresh into the NFL. It's his first second year in the league. He could carry the ball how he want, and he turned some guy yesterday into a household name now. All day long, they kept calling this guy's name from this small school. And I'm like, please shut up. The guy made one play. Okay. I mean, the thing about it is that Sean McDermott was winless against Belichick. And so he was due for a win. He was overdue for a win. I mean, I didn't write down the exact record, but I mean, it's been a long win streak over Belichick has had over him. So he was overdue for one. So I mean, Buffalo beat New England. I mean, New England's on the slide. Julian Edelman is done. I mean, the Patriots they're just playing football just to be playing football, just to finish the season, man, and just honor everybody contracts. That's all they're doing.
Pretty big fantasy guy to look out for. Zach Moss gave me my first big game in my keepers league. He's that rookie there. The Buffalo Bills drafted him. He really hasn't had too much production, but it seems to be that they're starting to work him into that offense. Singletary is a good running back. I do believe Zach Moss is a little bit better than him. He's bigger, runs stronger than Singletary. He got his first real big game you can say in his rookie year. Going forward in fantasy, I would definitely look at Zach Moss at something. Keep him in your watch list or whatever if he's not already on someone's team. It might be a guy that you pick up at the end of the season and get you some points in your fantasy team in that game also. And moving on to one of the funner games, the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers up against the Baltimore Ravens. Big division game. Always fun to watch. Hard hitting. You never know what you're going to get in these games. But Steelers came out with the win in a close one. Steelers are the real deal. There's nothing more you can say. From what I saw in highlights and from what I've read, Lamar Jackson was up and down in that game. He did have a good game. He did not have a bad game. I'm not saying he did. He did have a good game. But the Steelers, look, Big Ben 182, 2 touchdowns. Connor 47 yards and a touchdown. And Juju 67 yards, 7 receptions. 4-point win. Steelers stay undefeated. Baltimore goes to 5-2. And they've only lost to 2 big-time teams, Steelers and the Chiefs. So what's going on there? Are the Steelers... When are the 72 Dolphins popping the bottle? That's what I want to know. Because they ain't going undefeated.
Right. And Chef, as you already know what I say, streaks are meant to get broken. And I kind of was leaning towards this week, possibly the streak to be broken. I mean, Baltimore had everything going for them this week. It was a home game. They was coming off a bye week. So you would think that they triple prepared for whatever Pittsburgh could possibly throw at them. But shout out to Mike Tomlin. I mean, great game plan he put together. Big Ben, he did just enough just to win. Harbaugh, I mean, horrible. You just need a game plan better to beat Pittsburgh. These are the teams that you're going to have to beat in order to make it through the playoffs. I mean, the AFC is very tough. Um, your offense had a great, what was it, 200 yards rushing, 100 yards passing, and
Yep.
you take an L. I mean, what are you doing? It seemed like to me that Mike Tomlin and that defense that they put together a scheme to force Lamar Jackson into having a bad game. I mean, Lamar Jackson stepped up in the pocket. He tried to run. I mean, it was like a vacuum. Those defenders jumped all over him. They was on, good clean hits. Good. I mean, just good, solid, fundamental football. Lamar Jackson was not allowed to run around like how these quarterbacks shouldn't be allowed to run around in the NFL. You should. This is the best. This is the best of the best. This is not college. So Pittsburgh showed him, slowed him down.
Yeah, man. Like football talk. I'm looking at the stats here. I didn't see the whole game, and I didn't see those two interceptions that Jackson threw. But look, if you can't run the ball, we've said this before. When you get to the playoffs, that's what's going to happen. Wild card or not
Right.
wild card, they're going to force you to throw the ball. If
Mm-hmm.
you're Jackson, man, just don't make the throw. Take the sack, punt the ball,
Right.
survive another down. That's
Series.
all you
Yeah.
got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Exactly.
a sack, and you never want to take a sack, but a sack is better than an interception. You
Yeah, it
get to
is
punt the
all day.
ball, play that field position game with the Steelers. And that's how you beat the Steelers, really. You have to get into that field
Mhm.
position, and they're going to
Mhm.
be there at the end. And you can't make those mistakes and expect to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially
Mhm.
not the way they're playing this season. And
Mhm.
it seems like we're seeing that Steelers team that's going to go deep into the playoffs
Yeah.
again. And Mike Tomlin's a good quarterback. He's going to make you throw the ball. And when you don't have that pass there, when you don't see your receiver open, don't force it in. Take the sack, roll out, throw it out, do whatever you got to do, but keep the ball on your team's
Mhm.
side.
Mhm.
And it seems like from what I see and from the highlights I saw, I mean, 4-point game, 2 mistakes, that's going to cost you the game in a
Yeah.
fairly decently low scoring game.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any easier for Baltimore because I think the next home game, I'm not the next home game, but the next game against Pittsburgh for them is at Pittsburgh in December. And
Oh my God.
it's cold now. It's getting cold now.
Yeah, well, yeah, you're not gonna be able to do anything in that game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That actually might benefit the Baltimore Ravens more though, because if it turns into a running game,
Yeah, yeah.
Jackson could get out a little bit more, but
Mm-hmm.
it's just that you can't make those mistakes. One mistake is going to cost you the game in the playoffs.
Yes.
Like we've talked in other videos. That's what the Ravens are all about. They're at that point where they could compete for the Super Bowl. We know they're going to be in the playoffs. We know they're going to push into the playoffs and go deep. But one mistake in the playoffs will cost you the game, and that's that play right there that Lamar Jackson has to learn that it's okay to take a sack. It's okay. You punt the ball. That's all you got to do. But
right.
Congratulations to the Steelers. Congratulations to Mike Tomlin. And Steelers stay undefeated. But don't worry. 72 Dolphins got the bottles. We ready to pop them. Don't slip up. We're waiting. We know you're going to lose. I don't know who, but we know you're going to lose. And because someone explained to me what happened in the Bears and Saints, because I have no idea what happened, but someone got decked in the face. That was not funny at all. That should not happen in a football game. Overtime game, Saints win the game, but the whole story of the game was that fight. It overlooked what seemed to be a pretty decent game, a good game that was being played, a tight game, and it just gets overlooked by someone making a stupid, immature decision.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, I mean, to me, the Saints played a better game than I expected in Chicago this time of year. They had a pretty decent game plan. And what's the backup quarterback name? Taysom Hill or something like that, or
Taysom Hill, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he came through with some clutch plays when they needed him. But this Mims kid, this wide receiver for the Bears, I mean, man, these young guys got to stop with this chain pulling mess. I mean, that's some middle school schoolyard girl fighting mess.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Is that why? Is that why he got into a fight? Because someone
Well-
put his chain?
Well, I think the defender on the other team was talking trash to what's one of the better receivers named Robinson.
Robinson, Allen Robinson
It was either, I don't think of Allen Robinson. What's the other guy name? The other receiver.
from the Bears or
The Bears, on the Bears team.
Robinson and
He's pretty good too. I
can't
think he's
remember
number
his name now.
17. But anyways, he was talking trash to him. So I think the next play they ran another play. The guy turned his back. He punched him in the face. He has a helmet on. I mean, how stupid is that? If anything, Mims runs the risk of breaking his hand. Punching somebody in the helmet.
Me and D were talking about that in the episode that we recorded on Game On, and I was like, you remember back in the day when Andre Johnson fought Finland? What's his name? Finley or whatever is it from the Tennessee Titans?
Yeah.
Remember Andre took off his helmet first and then went to punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Not only are you getting ejected, you're getting suspended, and you might have a broken hand because you punched the damn helmet. Right. How stupid you got to be, really?
Yeah. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the thing about it is that you're a professional athlete. You made it to the highest level of the game. Your window of opportunity is small. You're like a third string wide receiver, if that. You might be fourth string because Cordell Patterson probably a third string wide receiver. So you're like a third, fourth string wide receiver. Then you go and do something stupid like that. Who wants to deal with you in this when there's hundreds of guys that want your position? So I mean, you have a small window to gain some wealth, and you're going to throw it away because you want to fight. And surprisingly, he only got 2 games for it. I mean, as stupid as it was and as stupid as it looked, I probably would have came down harder on it. I probably would have found a reason to deactivate him for the rest of the season. I mean, because it was unprovoked. It was unprovoked.
I don't get it. There was nothing in the plays before. Like, you explain whatever you want to explain, man. But you're on a team that not only on any team, on any level of sport, is that not something you do. You have to be more mature than that. Put the team first. Shut up, get the sideline, come back, make a good play. That's how you get back to that other team.
Yeah.
Not only forget about all that. Now you're the Bears. You lose 2 weeks in a row. You were number 1 in the NFC before 2 weeks ago. Now you're like third or fourth. Minnesota just won a game. Everyone in the division lost. And now you better keep on winning, because if Minnesota wakes up, boy, these first
you
5
have
games,
a problem.
Yeah, these first 5 games that you've been playing so good. I don't want to say this punch might have cost the Bears a season, but I mean, it might.
It
might.
This right here could have cost them the game, because it could have changed the momentum of the game. The foolishness. I mean, I even heard one of the sports announcers on TV say that if you really wanted to fight this guy that bad, you should have just met him at the bus after the game.
Yeah.
I mean, if one of the guys on national TV say that, I mean, that's just how stupid and worthless the fight was on the field.
There shouldn't be any fighting in football. I get it's a contact sport. People are going to talk trash. That's why us fans even watch the game, because we almost enjoy that trash talking. We enjoy the guys getting into each other. But there's a difference between someone getting into someone's face and then straight up slapping or decking a guy in the face. Come on, that's stupid. That's not even high school football. That's not that. There's no place for that in football at all.
I mean, it's worthless. I mean, the thing about it, this dude might be released at the end of the season, and he might be the next time you hear from him, he'll be winning the Ironman award in arena football for the rest of his life.
It could be. Hopefully not, man. Hopefully he gets his life straight and doesn't make that decision again. But it is what it is. With that being said, I think we've gone over the big things on Sunday. Time of recording right now, I don't want to say anything because I still don't think it's going to happen. But the New York Giants are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-3 in the second quarter with 11 minutes left. It's 4th and 18. Tampa's going to get the ball back.
It's 7-3.
7-3.
As I told you before the show, for some strange reason I'm pulling for the Giants this week. I love me some Bruce Arians. I can't lie about that. But
And Tom Brady doesn't play good against the Giants either. So,
but historically, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their win percentage in weather under 40 degrees is like 30%. And I mean, of course, this is a totally different Buccaneers team and all of that. But historically, I mean, with the Bucks coming from Central Florida and the warm weather and all that, and to be dropped off in New York City with the wind blowing and the cold air, it's a bit much for them. So we'll see how it turns out. But that plus 500 was looking too good to me. I went on and put something on it and locked in with the New York Giants on the spread and the money line.
I'm going to sleep in about an hour. Don't be calling me back when you're all pissed out the Buccaneers won this game. You should have called me before. I'd be like, you can tell me all the percentages you want. You can tell me any given Sunday. You can say whatever you want. Eli Manning's not in the Giants anymore. That means Tom Brady's going to beat them. But with that being said, guys, in the trenches, we're back. Coach, pleasure. Until next time.
Later. Peace.
Have a good night.
Well, that felt damn good.